awful.
Do you have your device up?
I have my device up.
All right. I don't know where my device is.
All right. We'll see. Here we go.
Tough day on that.
All
I
right.
was setting up.
All right. It
We
is
are on-
live.
It
We
says
are.
you're live.
Oh, and the lighting looks very cozy.
You
Does
like
it?
that?
Yeah.
We're
I was
cozy.
concerned.
Oh, I want to.
I was
How's it look
concerned that
here?
there wasn't enough light in the foreground.
Well, I'm a little bit dark, and we're a little bit far away.
There we
I know.
are.
This is how we start the show. We just start chatting.
Yes. Hi, Mom. Put your phone on silent because your mom's going to call you and ask you if you know if you're on
Right.
YouTube.
That's like the standard.
Yeah. So
Oh gosh,
moms like to call-
That's what moms do, right?
That's what
Moms
they do.
Our collective moms, all of them.
I was
watch
just
the
on
show.
Facebook and I saw you live. I just wanted to call and let you know. Yeah, Mom. It's live.
I like the time that your mom called and she dialed the wrong number. She thought she was calling somebody else.
She thought she was calling one of her students.
Right. That was fun.
Yes.
And this was during a show.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep, right in the middle
Hello.
of the
We do
show.
have some folks. And Judy, the famous Judy Green, she is here.
The executive
Yes.
producer.
And Scott
Trinita.
Roberts, thank you for watching. And this is where we met, Scott Roberts.
Aww.
Right here in this lobby. Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. So we are here live at Steel River Playhouse. This is our second time at Steel River. It was our first on location
That's right.
shooting back in whenever it was, April, a million years ago.
Yeah, we weren't far into COVID at that
It was
point.
maybe it was April. I don't think it was into May. At any rate,
I think we thought naively that maybe we'd have summer camp last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when we started this, we just talked about this the other night. Matt and I were like, "Oh yeah, 2 weeks. We could totally do this. 2 weeks, no problem."
And here you
Right.
are.
Here we are in season 3.
I have
Yeah.
to say, the way you have grown technologically is really impressive.
Thank you. I mean, you should
Yeah.
come around and see Matt's setup over here on the screen.
Man,
Yes.
it's crazy. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I never thought that we were going to be doing this, so I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
And
I can set up the microphone stands. That's my job.
And you did it very well.
Thank
She-
you. I
you're
can get the
doing-
equipment into the right place. I don't know
Yes.
where all of the wires go. So,
Right.
but I can at least get it like kind of teed up, and then Matt just plugs everything in.
You really only have one more step, and then you'll be good to go. The last thing that you need to learn is where the wires
Right.
go. But you know the microphones,
Yeah.
so it's just the computer wires now.
Right. I don't
You'll
know.
be-
Do I want to
you'll be
learn?
there
Do I not
soon.
want to learn? No,
It-
I would like
it-
to be able to learn so that I could at least help out.
Yeah,
if
'cause
Matt
it
needs
does-
to like run back up and get a battery or something,
Right.
which may have happened the other day.
Which might have happened on Tuesday.
That's okay. He made it back in plenty of time.
I did.
Yes.
I-
So
I did not drive exceedingly fast. I will say that.
no,
but I
no
made it.
laws were broken.
None.
Maybe. Yes.
Who else? Joe
So-
Rusevich
Hello.
is tuned in.
Thank you for tuning in. So we are here. And Bobby Flam is giving his usual hello to me and not to you. Hi, Bob.
That's cool.
We are here with Lena Devlin and Amanda. Is it Morel? Or
Morel.
Morel. Okay, I wasn't sure where the emphasis went. Morel.
No, you have it right.
Yeah, thank
Good
you. So Lena is the artistic director
I am.
of Steel River Playhouse, and Amanda is a superstar.
Amanda is a
She's
superstar.
Everyone's,
I like that title.
she's everyone's favorite
Do it this way,
mermaid.
though.
I mean, like, could there be a more perfect Little Mermaid?
No,
No,
there absolutely could not be
Aw.
a more perfect Little Mermaid.
Not at all.
Absolutely, I
Yes.
completely agree.
And that was a super fun show. So before we came, while we were setting up, before we got on air, we were talking about the musicals that I like, because I like to say that I don't like musicals, but
Yeah,
as
Amy
it turns out,
constantly says she doesn't like musicals, except it seems like many times when she's here and she saw a musical, she's like, I love this. I'm like, so what musicals don't you actually like?
Right.
Because you seem to actually like them all.
yes. So, but that, and the more familiar I am with the music, that always makes it more fun.
Is it because the musicals are difficult to follow from a storytelling perspective? Is that
it
the issue?
depends on how much singing there is. Like
Got it.
in the one we were talking about that I didn't care for, there was just all singing. I like to have some dialogue.
Got it. Yep.
Right. I
Right.
don't like when they're singing like, and I have to go to the bathroom. You know, like everything.
So you're
gets
not crazy about things that are fully sung through, like say a Sweeney Todd or.
Oh, but I like that one.
Okay, so
I'm just a mystery.
There's almost no dialogue in Sweeney
Right.
Todd.
And
Almost
Next to
everything is
Normal also was all singing.
sung. No, Next to Normal has some
Oh, it
dialogue.
had
A little
okay,
bit.
That was a while
Yeah.
ago. So anyway, we were going through kind of a retrospective of shows, which I like to do, and saying all the shows which I love, which is basically 99% of them.
I know you're incredibly supportive.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, it's,
Really lovely having you
so
here.
I always say, well, we're not really into the arts, but like here I am. We've been season subscribers for 10 years, and I'm at Art
I
Fusion
hate
all
to
the
break
time.
it to you. You are into the arts and you like musicals.
Yes.
I know. You heard it
how
here,
it is,
folks.
true.
You heard it here. But no, Little Mermaid was super fun because the music is really fun and it's familiar. And Levi was singing along the whole time. It was really cute. Oh, and we got to see Jim Kane as a starfish.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. The walk-on. That's right.
Yes. Yes.
I have to tell you, the casting of Little Mermaid was my favorite thing in the whole wide world because
There was a lot of little kids.
well, let me tell you the story. It was really about Amanda because I didn't know Amanda super well at that point, but I thought she was perfect for the part. The director, it was the first time I worked with him. I never really talked to him much. I couldn't read him at all. He's even difficult to read, knowing him for several years now.
Okay.
But like all through the casting, he wasn't saying a word. He was polite and lovely to each person,
And
but
total
he
poker face.
totally poker face. And unlike many directors, when there's not an actor in the room, they'll turn to me and tell me their opinion about what they're thinking, or
Right.
ask me a question that will like lead me to believe what they're thinking. Not with Dan. I had no idea, and I was so rooting. When I'm not the director, I don't tell directors who they have to cast or who they should cast or anything. I
Right.
literally
That's their
their job.
realm, right.
So I was so rooting for Amanda because I thought she was the perfect Ariel, but I didn't know if Dan liked her or not. It was hilarious. So after the whole auditions were over and we're starting to cast, I said, very nervously, I sit there and I'm like, so who do you think should be Ariel? And he goes, oh my God, Amanda. I thought it from the moment she walked in. And I was just like, oh, I've been sitting here for 3 days freaking out.
And you had never played Ariel before?
No.
But
Never.
I got to call her. I knew how much she wanted it. Like, I literally called her from the street. I
Right.
never
I
do
remember
that.
because we were
Right.
down at the brick house when it was the brick house.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And we were there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Lena's calling!" I like left, and I was like, "Hello."
Hello, like, is this good
Oh, and you were
news?
so super cool
Just
about
been-
it. Like, I'm like freaking out, like, oh my God. And she's like, oh, that's great.
I was probably trying to play it cool,
I'm
you
sure
know.
you were, yeah.
Had you done other shows here before, though?
I had. So
Okay.
my first show here was Annie in
Yeah.
2012.
12, yep. It was a
Right
Christmas
after
show.
I graduated, and my family dog at the time was actually Sandy.
Oh, how
Who
fun.
came all the way up from Georgia, by
Yes.
the way.
Wow.
Yeah, her parents brought Sandy, or
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
A visiting artist,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
he was a
great.
visiting artist.
How
Yep,
fun.
I was in Annie, Sound of Music, Shrek,
Okay,
I was
yeah,
in
we just were
Shrek.
talking
He kept
about
doing all of our Christmas
the
shows.
Christmas shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sound of Music, that's the one I forgot when I've been thinking about Christmas shows lately.
Yeah, well, and the perfect role, and it was a super fun show. So you
So
are
fun.
even more involved. You're not just a player, right? So,
Correct.
So tell us what else you've been doing during COVID. You've been
Well, also your staff position, because she's on
Yes.
staff
Oh,
when
okay.
it's not COVID too.
Okay,
Yep.
got it.
Yes.
So what is your staff position?
So my
in
staff-
normal times, non-COVID normal times.
My staff position is marketing. I just work in the marketing department as the
Okay.
social media manager.
Sure.
Which, with COVID, has come, grown much more during these times. And through that, I came up with the idea for Light on Your Feet,
Okay.
which is a video series that I started over the summer. Because obviously I had more time because, with Steel River being shut down.
Right.
Suddenly my schedule was clear.
Suddenly you have all these free evenings and weekends.
I was
and
like,
time.
oh my gosh, what do I do with all this time?
Yes.
So besides editing the videos for our YouTube channel and Facebook and keeping everybody involved, and I would
Right,
also
and while you're closed down, you want to keep your name out there. You don't want people to forget about you.
Right.
Right.
and everybody's so hungry for theater, and anyway, so I would also work out. And I'd be running on the treadmill, and I'm like, these theater jams are awesome. Like, all this Broadway music, I'd, be singing along, and like, these are awesome. And then I'd go home and work out to some YouTube videos, like, of people dancing. And I was like, wait, I need to put these two together.
Yes. It's like two great tastes that taste great together.
Yeah, and like theater and fitness, like two of my passions, I was like, I'm gonna put them together. And I asked Lena, and I ran it by Velva, and I was like, do you guys think like people would like this? It would be, fun. And they got some good response, lots of views. So hopefully I'm going to do a few more
Great.
coming up soon and post those.
Do you post those on the Steel River Playhouse YouTube channel, or do you have your own Light on Your Feet channel?
We post them on the Steel River YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then I usually, put the link up on Facebook as well.
Right.
There's only 4 up right now. They're
Okay.
each a half an hour
Okay.
about.
Which is great. That's a
yeah.
perfect amount of time.
And I try to make sure to include, some changes for people who might not be as don't want as much cardio.
Right. Modifications.
Yes, modifications.
Right. For different or different levels.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it so much. I almost feel guilty because it's so much fun.
Well, that's great.
For me,
do you know how few people get to do the things that
Yeah.
they really love? Right.
It's true.
Now, if you could monetize it, that would be great.
I know.
But, we'll work on that.
Maybe. We'll
work on
see.
that. Yeah, we're still working on the same thing here.
Yeah, that whole
Trying to
monetizing
monetize
thing
it,
is a real
right?
challenge.
Yeah.
So we got some folks tuning in. Let's just say hello.
Right. We got some
here.
flashing lights outside.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Add-
we do.
Adding to the ambience of High
Yeah.
You guys are
fun.
located at 245 East High Street. We're
Yeah.
at Steel River Playhouse for people that just tuned in. We're sitting down with Lena Devlin and Amanda Morrell.
Morrell.
Good job. Good job.
Yes.
Amanda is telling us about her Light on Your Feet program. Now, I created a slideshow because Amanda sent me some pictures, and you'll see
Oh,
some
cool.
of those pictures slide through.
Yeah.
Amanda boogieing down to
Oh,
stay
yeah.
fit. You'll see pictures from N Crowd, which we're also going to talk
Yeah, we're talking about that.
about
Oh, look at
tonight.
you. You're so cute.
So here we are.
That's great. All
Here
right,
we
so we
are.
got some folks. Scott Roberts is saying he loved Fun Home. That was a really good one. That was
Ooh,
one of the last
yes.
shows I saw, I think.
It was the last
last
show we
show.
got a full run in
Yeah.
of. We started
Yeah,
Anne
'cause
Frank, but only got one
totally
weekend.
missed it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm really glad because Fun Home I directed. And it was probably the best theater experience of my career.
Yeah, wow.
It was
It's a-
amazing, that
it's a big
experience,
statement.
and I'm really glad I have that to hold on to for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Every-
had it been a lousy experience or even just a meh, and right before that I did Christmas Story. So I did Christmas Story and Fun Home. It was killing me because I direct them both at the same time, but
Right.
thank goodness because I
Right.
miss it all. But Fun Home
It's
was,
like you loaded up
yeah,
for
Fun
the
Home
for
was
the
just
upcoming draft.
amazing
Yes.
for
Hello,
me.
Velva is saying hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Velva.
Velvet. Chauncey Smith, Jay Morris, thanks for tuning in. Trinita is here. Thank you, everyone. Brooke, thank you for tuning in to our show live from one of my favorite places in Pottstown.
Aw.
I feel really fortunate.
It's one of my favorite places in Pottstown too. Imagine that.
And
I like it here too.
and feel really fortunate that we have
I don't
this.
want to be left out of all this love.
Well, Matt, and your parents are season ticket holders too.
They are.
They were, and
Yeah.
for quite a while they were
Yeah.
board members as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I come to the holiday productions.
Yeah, that is a very common thing. We have lots of people
Yeah.
who never miss that, and they don't necessarily come to a lot of other shows, but they always come to that.
I love when
I
we're
always
at
come to the holiday
a
show.
show and there's people sitting next to us. We always like to ask, where are you from? And people are like, oh, we live in Wayne. Oh, we live in Newtown Square. What I'm like,
That's
wow.
awesome.
I know.
love to hear
It's
that.
great. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
And love now that people can come here and have other places to go.
Yeah.
After the show or before
Yep.
the show.
Yes.
Because for many, many years, you opened here in
Oh wait,
08.
yeah.
Okay.
Thinking that
Yeah.
would be the beginning of a renaissance.
It
and
was. It just was.
took it literally took the time that the renaissance did.
Right. Yes. It actually took like the amount of time that it
But
took
yeah,
to
we're,
pull the
we're
world out
finally
of the
there,
dark
and then COVID
ages.
came. But yeah, there's like lots of great restaurants in town, and you can come early and sort of shop and do things if you want to come on a weekend when the farm is running, and then
Yes.
come see a matinee. I mean,
Oh.
it's pretty fantastic. I
Yes.
can't wait till we can open up and take advantage of all that again.
Yeah. And we were just talking about before we came on the air something that Tom Dunn and Jim Vlahos told us when we were at Iron Gate, and that is that they're going to put lights on Penn Street,
Penn Street, yes.
from High Street South and from High Street North, so that it will make it. I don't want to say it will be safer because I already feel
It'll
like
make
Pottstown
it-
it will appear the perception of safety will be there
That's
and
right.
make people feel more comfortable.
It'll be better lit.
Yes.
It'll be
for
better
your
lit.
strolling pleasure.
Yes, and
So you
know,
don't
for those
trip on
folks
a
that-
rock.
Yes, for the folks that
what it
have
comes
to
down to,
park in the park in the lot back.
You can see where you're
That'll
going.
be so nice.
So
where
that
you're
would,
going.
it's a very nice thing that they are doing. They got the permits and they're paying to light that up. So
That is fantastic.
it's really just and having lighted areas it makes people feel more comfortable.
Yeah, that's
So
what
we-
community is all about. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Next time I see them, I am going to tell them how fabulous I think they are.
Yes.
That is
So when
wonderful.
we see them over there at the beer garden, which
Yeah.
was such a
Yes.
fun show that we did over there,
It
it was really
was-
fun. Yeah.
It was out of control, but that's what made it fun.
It was a happy hour show.
It
It was a
was.
Friday.
It was crazy.
It was a little crazy, but it was fun. It
So
was fun.
here's since we're talking about community support, and we're here to kind of talk you guys up here at Steel River. Why don't you tell everybody what's going on tomorrow with
Okay.
this End Crowd fundraiser?
I would be happy to. So there's some history here. Actually, there's a ton of history here. We opened
got
our
plenty of
doors
time.
in December of it was late November of 2008 is when we opened. In January of 2009, so less than 2 months here, the End Crowd came and performed.
So we were trying, the last show we were trying to,
Yeah, we were trying to
I said
figure
it's
it
been
out.
at least 10 years.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
This will be year 13.
Wow.
I just counted
Lucky
on my
13.
little fingers yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was unaware, but the End Crowd was brand new then as well. So when we celebrated our 10th anniversary, they were celebrating their 10th
Oh,
anniversary.
wow.
Cool.
And they have been together as an improv troupe since 2008 or 9. They might be
Right.
a tiny bit older than us, but or longer than we've been in the building. But that's really amazing for improv troupes. They don't last that long.
Right.
So
Right.
they perform every single Friday night. Well, almost every single Friday night in the city. Now, I don't know, they've been doing things virtually now, and they still
Right.
do Friday night virtual. So that's why BJ, who's the executive
Yeah.
director of End Crowd, contacted me and said, hey, we're usually here every first weekend in January. Do you want us to do a fundraiser for
That's
you?
so
And I
great.
think that's just
Yeah.
amazing.
And
so
he's a Pottstown native.
he is a Pottstown. He not anymore. He's from Pottstown.
he's
He
from-
lives
yeah.
in Birdsboro now, I think.
Okay.
He and his
So,
wife.
Local boy done good.
Local boy done good. He used to actually teach here. He taught improv and acting here
Harrison
when
took,
we
Okay.
opened the
Harrison
doors.
took
yeah.
his improv class.
Harrison did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, it was, Harrison was maybe 10 or 11.
I was going to say he must have been like a
he was
little
little,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, because BJ probably taught here for maybe 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. He does a hysterical character, John Potts.
Yes,
oh my
I've seen him
gosh,
do that,
I
yes.
love
Oh
John
my
Potts.
gosh.
Yes.
He's very, very funny. He's the founder of Pottstown, the founder of Pottstown.
Right.
And he's a lot of fun. So what's going to happen this year, because typically they're here the first Saturday, because Friday night's their in-city night, but
Right.
this year it's Friday. It's tomorrow. And it's going to be available on basically any platform that you're comfortable with.
Name a platform, it's going to be on there.
So it's on Facebook, it's on Twitch, it's on YouTube, and they
Yep.
have their own website that you could also get it on. And on the events on Facebook, all of those links are there. So I'm going to watch YouTube because it's what I'm most comfortable on.
Right.
But you can get it on any of those
Right.
platforms, which is
Social
great.
media
Right.
platforms.
So what they're doing typically when they come here, we split the house. It's because it's something we do together. It isn't so much a fundraiser; it's a show. But
Right.
what BJ and the End Crowd are doing for us, which is fantastic, is every penny that comes in tomorrow, they're giving to Steel River Playhouse.
Wow.
That's super
That's
generous.
great.
It's,
It's
really
incredibly
nice.
generous,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's essentially a free show. I think the requested donation is $5. Feel free to give more,
Yes.
because of course we will put it to good use. And the End Crowd's pretty fantastic, and I'm excited about it. And I can't, I'm really glad that we don't have to have a hole in our tradition. It's the one
Right.
thing we're going to keep doing.
Right.
So
I'm curious to know how they will do an improv show.
it's a
without
good question.
the audience, because that's the
I asked him if it was still going to be interactive, and he goes, "Oh, don't you worry." That's what he said
Oh,
to me.
I'm sure
Oh,
they're
don't
like,
you worry. I
yeah.
was like, okay.
I'm sure they figure something out. I mean, improv is what they do, so
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that they're able to work around it.
Right.
But I'm eager to see how that is going to work out.
Yeah,
without
I'm eager
an
to see it
audience.
too. It should be really fun. Yeah.
I have their logo and a little bit of advertisement for the show down in the bottom right-hand corner, and you'll see the link there to their Twitch TV channel. And how would somebody make the donation? So you're asking for the donation.
When you go on, I think you can buy a ticket now. I think you can
Okay.
actually do a donation right now.
Yeah, I did that. I did it a few days ago.
And I believe that they will explain to you when we're on tomorrow how to
Okay.
make donations as well.
Right.
Okay.
So if you would like to make your donation in lieu of ticket,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you're not selling a ticket. You're it's a suggested donation.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that now. It's an Eventbrite link,
Mm-hmm.
which if you're familiar with Eventbrite is really easy to maneuver through their site, and that's available on the Steel River website.
Mm-hmm.
The link is there, and it's just super easy.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I'm very excited about it.
Yes, and
You have
from
a
the
couple
comfort
questions
comfort
here.
of our own homes. Yes.
All right.
I don't
Yes.
think Lisa Waltz is involved in Steel River anymore.
You
is
would
she?
be wrong.
Am I wrong? All right,
Oh, yeah,
good.
so
Lisa
Lisa was a
Waltz-
Bobby
board-
Flam will be very happy that I'm wrong.
Lisa
Yes.
Waltz
There you
is,
go, Bobby.
she
Double
was for
header.
years and years and years on our board of directors.
Right.
She is now what we call a friend to Steel River. It's sort of
like a professor emeritus.
emeritus was the word I was going to use.
There we
Jim
go.
Kane is a friend to Steel River.
Look at you. Look at me.
I know.
You got a thesaurus somewhere in there?
Lisa Waltz is like a freaking rock star. So here's some of the ways she's involved. Every summer, with the exception of 2020, we
Right.
do a volunteer appreciation party
Yep.
at Waltz Golf Farm
Yep.
that Lisa foots the bill for
So,
every
so Lisa,
single year.
let's just back up. Lisa is part of the Waltz family
Oh, yeah.
of the Waltz golf farm, which
Absolutely. Yep.
people are familiar with. But Lisa is also an actress.
She is.
Uh,
She's. In fact, I was just watching. I saw her on a rerun of Frasier the other night. It was making me laugh. And Mad About You. I saw her on a rerun of Mad
Oh,
About You
great.
the other day
I didn't
too.
realize that she had done that kind of work. And she was in, what was the real one famous one that she was in? It was a Neil Simon, wasn't it?
Yes, she originated the role of Nora. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where she got her start. But she's
Right.
been doing TV, you
Okay.
know, through a lot of her career. So a lot of times you'll see her on sitcoms. And
I've
like,
seen her
in
on.
bit
I've
roles.
seen every Frasier, so I'm
Yeah.
sure that I have seen her.
She's the one. If the Frasier where he meets this woman, he really likes her, but he keeps like having mishaps and missing dates.
Yes.
That's her. That's
Okay.
Lisa.
Okay.
So but the funny thing about Lisa, she's the most beautiful human being. She's so lovely. She's so sweet. And she's, I mean, relative to our little community theater, she's kind of like big time, right?
Right. Right.
When
Oh,
she
yeah.
walks in this building, she washes the dishes. I mean, she's one of those people
Yeah.
who just like,
Gets-
she sees what
yes.
needs to be done and she does it.
Yeah, I met her and worked with her on one of the galas when Mary Beth was here, and we did the gala upstairs, and and so there was a lot of like donated food and
Yep.
things, and we were all running around, and that was when I met her.
You're right. And she runs around and helps and works as hard as everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah, so I think if I remember the story, Bobby used to drive a limo, and he maybe drove Lisa when she got married. Am I right about that, Bob? Did I remember that story? I think that was how why he asked about her. But
Yeah, she lives in California, but she comes back at least every summer to help with the Waltz fireworks.
yeah,
Yep.
which of course is in direct competition with Pottstown Go Forth. That's okay.
You have to talk to her. Have to take her aside.
Well, and you also have
Do it
other.
on Penn Street before they put the lights up.
What's that?
Take her aside.
Take her out and have a little discussion.
Hey, come over here to Penn Street.
Yeah. You also have other famous people that have played here, like Joe Cerisi.
Oh, I was like, we did.
Right? Yes.
Joe Cerisi, you're right.
Yes.
Yes.
Joe Cerisi is very famous.
Joe performed here before he was a state rep.
Oh yeah, several times.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah, he's done a lot of our cabarets and stuff, but his roles here, his first role, I think, was Captain Hook, probably. Yeah.
He was
I would think so, yeah.
Scrooge
And
when
he
I
was
came
no
through.
Scrooge would have no, he was the second Scrooge. He wasn't Scrooge in 2010. He was
Yeah.
Scrooge when you did
2017.
2017,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so his
don't
big
know if I
roles
saw
here
that
have been
one.
Scrooge and Captain Hook.
Okay.
And
Yeah, as
Farquaad. We can't
Oh,
forget
Lord
about
Farquaad.
Lord
Yes,
Farquaad.
of course, Lord
But,
Farquaad.
that's a Shrek. That's the
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
It's the guy, he was on his
So
knees.
yes.
good.
Yes.
Yeah. Although
That
he's so
will-
tall.
That will
Even
by
on his
far.
knees, he probably was taller than the kids, right?
He was taller than some of the kids, even on his knees. He's so tall.
My
Yeah.
dad will tell you by far that is like his favorite actor and favorite role that in like any show he's seen here
Is Farquaad.
is Farquaad.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Well, there
My
you
whole
go, Joe.
family.
If you're watching, props for your Farquaad.
And you never knew what in the little part where he could do improv with the audience. You just never knew what he was going to do ever.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
You never know what Joe's
you
gonna
never
do.
know.
I ran into Joe the other day in a parking lot, honest to God, at the Kohl's parking lot. This was after Christmas. People were doing returns. And I noticed his car, because it was a car that I'm thinking about maybe purchasing next time I get a car. And he's like, oh, it's a loaner. Here, take it. Drive it around. I was driving this Volvo around the Kohl's
There's your
parking
service from your state
Right.
representative,
It's a
right?
nice service from your
Yeah.
state.
He's a great guy. We had a lot of fun when he came on the show before the election, and
yeah.
a lot of folks really learned
Yeah.
a lot. And he talked about his background, about his theater background,
Yep.
and was he involved in helping you guys get one of the grants? Because I know you've gotten a bunch of grants.
We have gotten really
COVID.
well. I'm sure it didn't hurt the
yeah.
state grant that we got. He definitely announced that we got the state grant, and he let me know we got it before the state did, which was sort of fun. I was a little on the. He's like, guess what? So that was cool.
Right.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. We've gotten a really nice state grant. We got a nice one from Montgomery County. We were able to participate in the payroll protection plan. That was a federal grant/loan. And we got a grant from Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Arts Council.
That's great.
We got a grant from them as well. We have been extraordinarily lucky, and we have a really good grant writer, Allie Smale, who has been working nonstop. She's the only person on payroll still here because she has been working nonstop finding us these grants.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of grants out there, but you got to find them.
You have to find them, and you have to know how to write them, and she's so good at that.
Right.
And it's been the difference between us having the doors open and not.
That's
so
great.
It's
because
huge,
as we talked about, even though you're not, producing anything here, you have a pretty big monthly nut that you've got to cover.
That's right.
To keep things up and running. You can't just turn off the HVAC and turn the lights off and expect everything to be fine once you come back in.
And insurance.
So
that's
along
expensive.
those lines, folks, along those lines, help them keep the lights on by tuning in to N Crowd tomorrow.
Yes.
Now, what time is that going to kick off? We got to get people.
It's
over
January 8 at 8
At
p.m.
8 p.m.
there. 8 at 8.
8
Yes.
at 8.
All right,
love
so
it.
tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock, N Crowd, make the donation, 100%.
100%.
100%. Every penny that N Crowds bring
Every
is
penny
they're giving to Steel River Playhouse.
It's coming to Steel River Playhouse, so you can help them keep the lights on, keep their doors open, etc. I had a question for you for your Let's Get Dancing. Is that
Light
right?
on your
Light on your
feet.
Light on your feet.
And
I'm
also-
sorry.
all
Get
summer
Dancing.
we had a light theme, like a spotlight,
Oh, okay.
or so light on your feet was
It's a double entendre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do I find Light on Your Feet?
on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Steel River
You'll see
Playhouse,
there's a playlist on our YouTube channel that's named Light on Your Feet, and all 4 episodes are there.
Okay. And you're going to be posting
Yep,
more
and I'll
episodes
be
of that?
hopefully recording some this weekend. So
Okay.
stay tuned. If you have song suggestions, let me know.
It's always
Okay.
fun to come and be in the building while she's doing Light on Your Feet. It's
Right.
one of my
Right.
favorite things. Yeah, because it's like you
The
get to hear.
music's on
The
and there's
music's
activity.
on.
Yeah,
and-
it makes you feel like
And
there's life in the
building,
building,
Yes.
right?
You know, when we're up and running, this building can be hopping. You know, there's times when it's just like every single room, there's something else going on, and
Right.
so this quiet is a little disconcerting. So
Sure.
I,
Right.
I love it when
Do you have any idea of what your projected time line or anything is for reopening, or at least maybe doing
What you're
some
hoping
things
to do,
inside?
yeah.
I can tell you what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
you know,
go
what
ahead.
I'm hoping is that we're going to be able to do summer camp this year.
Okay.
I don't think it's realistic to think about doing anything before then. But I really think that summer camp is something we can think about,
Right.
assuming that a lot of vaccines are going to be available to us in the late spring.
Right, and
early
hopefully
summer.
there will be we'll be rolling those out a little bit quicker than they have been
Yes,
the last
I would
couple
hope
weeks.
so too. Yeah. So that's, my
right.
real goal, and that's what we're sort of budgeted through. Like the money that we
Right.
have will get us to there.
Right.
If it has to go much beyond that, we're going to do some major fundraising again.
Right. So and with summer camp for the kids, kids are in school now. And
A lot of them,
a
yep.
lot of them are in school in person, and a lot of them are doing sports, and so it makes it a little bit difficult with what is going to be the mask protocol. When the kids do come back, will they be able to be able to perform maskless, or I guess
I don't know,
you'll just
but-
have to go by guidelines. You'll have to go by
you
whatever
can perform
guidelines.
with a mask on.
Right.
It can be done, and we
Right.
can. And we
It
can.
makes the like a little bit difficult to express the emotions.
It does.
Which is also, it's been helpful being a theater person, because I feel like I emote more through my eyes.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you can't see my mouth. And
Right.
so, you really have to,
I think that's
along
a really,
with the speaking.
So
it's all in the eyes.
let's just drill that down a little bit about how being a theater person could really help to get through that. So you just looking at you now, and the camera's a little bit far away, so I'm not sure how much you can really see Amanda's face, but she's got these beautiful eyes, and right. So
Just hamming it
yeah, so she's hamming it up, and if you know how to do that, it's much easier. Like a lot of times I'll be out someplace and I will smile at somebody, and I really try to overdo it with my eyes so that they know that I'm smiling.
Excuse me for a second. That's the alarm on my phone.
Okay.
Oh, no.
And also to be able to project,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to project through your mask and to be able to speak clearly, right? And enunciate. And also
Breathe
Like
correctly.
breath,
Diaphragm.
right?
Yeah.
Like breath techniques. And a lot of people, I can't breathe in this thing. Well, first of all, yes, you can.
Yeah,
Relax.
you really can.
Yes, you really can.
Yes, you really can.
And until you're like in an N95 double masked with a shield over and full like
Mm-hmm.
body like covering, like doctors and nurses are for
14 hours a day, right.
then I don't want to hear it that you can't breathe.
Yep.
But those things, and also lung capacity. Right. So if you are a singer and a performer, you know how to do lung exercises. You know how to breathe deeply. One of the things that we do in yoga. So Amy Francis, her mom, does a yoga class 3 times a week on Facebook, and she does this Coveted Breathing, which is basically breathing exercises to open up your lungs and really expand like the back lungs, the lungs in the back. And so I've noticed just through doing that yoga a couple of times a week that my lung capacity has increased a lot. Like if I go hiking, I don't get winded at all anymore.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
So just that. So all of these ways that theater helps not just your mental health, right? But also your physical health.
Yeah,
And
theater
how physical
training
you
is
are.
so applicable. When you think about kids that are going to do theater training, they don't have to want to be an actress or a performer
Right.
when they grow up. It's so valuable for so many things. Mental health for
Yes.
sure. This is a theater is also it's sort of like the land of misfit toys, right?
Yeah.
This is where a lot of kids can come if they don't feel like they have found a place to belong, because we're all a bunch of people who feel like we don't belong, so we belong. That's sort of
Right.
how that goes here. There's also this public speaking thing, which is really difficult to do, but it happens a lot in high school where you have to do presentations, or in your career, or
Right.
in life where you need
Yes.
to
I
get in
was
front
just
of
thinking
people.
about like the corporate boardroom where you have to give up
Exactly.
Yep.
and give a presentation.
Exactly.
You have to promote your plan or give your pitch.
Right.
Right.
And somebody who had a little bit of training under their belt might help them out in those situations.
It absolutely does. It makes them feel more comfortable, in addition to being able to project their voice and the technical pieces of it, but the emotional piece is really important too. And that there's nothing quite like theater to really build your confidence.
Yeah.
There really isn't anything like it. It's a little surprising, even
Right.
if you're not on stage, because it's like teamwork. Teamwork anywhere is super critically
Sure.
important. I'm a big proponent of youth sports for the same reason, but
Right.
we're not all athletes.
Right.
I never was. I was
Right.
total klutz.
But
so
I think as a former jock myself, right, it was a long time ago. I need to take some classes. But I don't think the people that are inclined the way I was should be scared of coming into the theater too.
for sure not.
Right?
Right.
Like it's not just a place for people to go if they can't play sports.
For
If
sure,
you
for
play
sure.
sports, you can probably find something that would attract you to the theater as well.
And there's so much here. There's acting, and there's singing, and there's dancing, and there's painting, and there's scenic design, and there's sound design, and
Yeah,
there's
and there's
there's
just
backstage
set
work.
building. There's engineering and learning how to use power tools and
Yes, set
right.
design and production.
Yes.
I took theater classes in college so that I could check off some of my general education
Right.
requirements.
Right.
And that's what I took. I
Right.
took set design and production,
Right.
and I really enjoyed it.
Did
Got
you?
to
But
help
if
out with a bunch
if you
of
did
different plays.
performing, think about like if you when you were working in the park system, say that you
Right.
were a park person that had to do speaking
was.
and training and
I did
tours
do
and
that.
yeah, so like that would be helpful
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
that background.
I don't have any problems talking to anybody. So.
I hadn't noticed.
Nobody ever complains
way.
that they can't hear Matt Green. I don't know what Matt's thinking today. That doesn't get said a
Said
whole
nobody
lot.
ever.
Had said nobody ever. Right. So here's the other thing too, and I wanted to bring this up, and we talked about it the last time, and I think it goes along with what we just said, is that the folks from Steel River Playhouse are looking to team up or help local businesses in any way they can. So if something that was said tonight appeals to you, if you want to try to get your staff or your employees or just for your own education, contact Steel River. They can set something up for you to help you with some of this stuff, projecting your voice, stage presence, all of these things. Right?
Absolutely. Also, while we're still in COVID, before we do in-person stuff, we do have, availability for private acting.
Oh, thank you. I was going to ask
we
about that.
We do have availability for Russ, who has been teaching with us since before we opened our doors.
Right.
Is still doing guitar and ukulele.
Yeah, he's
great. So those are really important things.
The thing that I'm really the most upset about that COVID, I didn't get to see Deb Penrod, and I think Scott Roberts was in the same class, to have their ukulele recital.
Ukulele recital.
I was
Well,
really
we'll make sure
looking
that
forward to the
happens.
ukulele recital.
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
really- I was
I'm
like,
definitely
all right,
coming.
COVID.
When
Yeah.
that comes back, I'm definitely coming to see Deb
All right, Deb
play
Penrod,
the ukulele.
dust off that ukulele.
I want to see my stepmom on the ukulele.
Yes.
Can we put some pickups on it and rock the electric ukulele? Hey,
It exists.
look
it's
who
the
it is.
assistant to the executive producer outside.
Did he come to
We're
buy a
getting
hat?
a walk by.
We're getting a walk by.
We're getting a walk by.
We usually get at least one drive by, but we got to walk by. What's
We
he
gotta
doing
walk
down here?
by
Picking up
today.
dinner?
I don't know what they're doing. There's
Oh.
a possibility.
Well,
I
I
got
will
them
say,
a nice gift card
if
to Pub, so maybe they're using that.
If somebody wants to come down while we're here,
Yes.
Ooh.
so
I was
I don't even
segueing
think that
into
we
that.
told you that about our hat purchase donations.
I love those. And how much was a hat purchase?
So a hat is
$20.
$20, and of each hat that we sell, $5 will go to Steel River Playhouse.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we just announced
decided that.
We just decided it.
Just
just the other
It
day.
looks like she
because
just decided.
No,
Tuesday.
we did. We did
No,
Tuesday.
no.
Matt,
It was a
Matt
joint-
just came out with it. I was like, I am on board
nice.
with
Thank
that.
you so much.
It was a
Yeah.
joint decision.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be buying one.
excellent.
Okay.
Well, let me
Sure.
tell you something. It is warm.
It's
I'm
also
s-
Yeah.
I had to move it
Yes.
off of my head because
It
I'm
is
Too
sweating.
hot.
It is very warm and it is very bright. It is regulation orange. We talked about
right.
this
So
the
if I
other
wanted
day.
to join PennDOT, I could do that.
You could
Yes,
do that.
or if you like to hike in the woods,
Right.
and
Oh, that's a
it
good
will
point.
make you very visible.
Yeah.
Or
or while I'm walking the dog and it's
Yeah,
dusk. Or
that's right.
something.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, exactly. So
you
there
go.
you go.
$20 gets you your
$20.
Porchcast Pottstown hat that was
Yes.
designed by Jason Morris
Yes.
over at Shirt Happens.
Yes.
Shirt Happens.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
great
so
name.
I don't know if you
It
can
is.
really see
It's
it,
so great.
but it's got the Porchcast logo on it,
I know. I like
the
it.
little Adirondack chairs and the microphone. So yeah, and we also have some they're
Stickers.
over there.
Yeah, they are. I have stickers, and
Stickers
I also
and
have
magnets.
magnets. So you can
Yes.
put the magnet on your car or your refrigerator. The
Wow.
stickers are $2. Magnets are $5. The proceeds from those sales are coming back to Porchcast.
You're looking at
Pottstown.
them. You're looking at them.
You are looking
They're-
at the
they're the
proceeds
equipment.
of those sales.
Yes.
Yes, we've updated a little bit since the last time
You sure
we were
have.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do really want to make everybody aware that the $5 from the sale of the hat is going to Steel River Playhouse, and we'll keep that going through this run of hats.
Yes.
We
Yes.
did already sell some hats, so I'll make sure that money gets donated over here.
Yes,
Amy
excellent.
and I. will
Velva
make sure
says you
that
can be
that
seen on
happens.
Penn Street in this hat and be a beacon for others until the lights go up.
That's right.
Oh,
There you go.
Velva.
Yes,
I love Velva.
absolutely. I know she's the
forward to
best.
the day that I'm walking around town and I see other hats, and then I'll know who the Porchtonians are.
Yes.
The
That's what I'm looking-
Porchtonians.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love
you
it.
won't be able to miss these
Yeah.
Love
hats.
it.
No,
Yes.
you won't. Matt was at my house before I was at my house the other day, and I was coming up Penn Street, and I was at the Phillies fire station, and I could see it all the way across the Zion's parking lot, across the Emmanuel parking lot, and across half of the alley. I could see him
That's
in
hilarious.
his hat.
Here
So
comes Matt.
very visible,
Very visible.
and very warm. So just let us know. You guys know how to reach us, or you can come by right now and get
Right.
a hat, and then go to the pub and get a drink.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I might go over there and get a beer.
I might go with you.
Velvet
I'm
and
not- I'm
David
not
are
gonna
having
say
dinner
yes.
at 6 over there, just so you know.
Nice.
Say
Yeah.
what? No?
Velvet and David's Arlie are both having dinner over there at 6.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not comfortable dining in yet, so I'll.
But I
probably
mean, you
get
can
one of
stop by
those-
and say hi.
Yes, I'll grab one of
go.
those. Grab one of those big beers
Gotcha.
to go.
Did you see the macaroni and cheese they had this past weekend? It was surf and turf. It
Yes.
had crab, shrimp, and sirloin in the mac and cheese.
Wow. What?
I texted Madison, my daughter who lives
Yeah.
here in town, because I don't
Oh,
live
yeah,
right in
so
town.
she
I
lives
texted
in-
Madison.
yeah.
I'm like, go get
Go
this
now.
now.
And did she get it?
I don't know.
Oh gosh,
They did.
I hope so.
They did take away trays of mac and cheese in December, and we got those. We got that one night.
Yeah, but did it have crab?
No,
shrimp,
it did
and-
not.
Or
That
no,
is like
was
a-
it crab. Maybe it was crab and lobster.
That sounds like the gout special. Is what that sounds like. So, how does Madison like living in town?
She loves it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does she love the motorcycles zooming all over the
She
neighborhood?
doesn't talk about that.
Really?
Well,
She
she's
should
not
go down to
younger.
Stones
She
and get her
doesn't-
hearing tested
She's
because
24. But
yeah,
they,
that's
you
true.
know, she sleeps from like 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. I don't know.
Right.
She loves. You know her favorite part? Walking to Blue Elephant.
Yes. Walking to anything.
But
That'd be the best.
But Blue Elephant
Yes.
specifically because she's a huge sushi fan.
Great.
So,
Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time coming. So when I moved to Pottstown in 1997, we used to have to drive to Exton to get sushi. Exton. And then when Sakura opened up, that was like very.
Yeah, we all love Sakura.
very
absolutely.
exciting.
That's
Yes.
not an uncommon like when we're here.
It's
for
usually here in the building. Somebody gets
right,
it.
right. So we have
So-
things called tech days right before the show opens. You do like a 12. It's actually a
Yes.
12-hour day.
Tech
You
Week
get
is like Hell Week, right?
Well, I like tech, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Meaning that it's a lot. It's a
lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Long days, very
Yes.
long
The
days.
weekend before are 2 long 12-hour days, but we get a 2-hour dinner break. So you better believe Sakura is like we're-
Yes.
They get
So-
a lot of business.
Yeah.
When you've got a production like one of your Christmas productions or like a really big ensemble production, how many people are involved in a show like that? Like, say, A Christmas
gosh.
Carol. What are you talking about in terms of players and backstage and musicians and, I mean, is there 50? Is there 100?
No, probably more than that. Like Christmas Carol would be a good example because it's probably a cast of 35-ish.
Right?
I'm just picturing my dressing room downstairs
God, yeah.
and me sharing it with like 3 other girls, our little mirror.
Right.
Yeah.
That big dressing room always gets stuffed full.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
our biggest show, Ragtime, had 62 in the cast.
Wow.
An orchestra of, I don't know, probably 15, maybe a little bit bigger. That may have been one of our larger orchestras. Sweeney Todd was our biggest orchestra. You know, and then the backstage, it
Right.
can really vary. Like
Right.
some shows, you can only you don't need more than a couple, and some you need. Like Peter Pan, we had
Yes.
to have.
Well, you had to, he was
the
flying. Yeah.
We had 17 people running that show that were not in the cast
Right. Wow.
every single night.
So my point that I'm getting at is all of those people have to eat. So
Yes.
you've got Tech Week, you've got rehearsals, you've got all of this activity going on. And while one show is running, another show is rehearsing.
At least one, yep.
Right. So even though maybe the musicians aren't in yet, but they're working on the set and the players are rehearsing. So you're talking about a big influx of people that, when
20,000 a year.
Yeah, when you
20,000 visits.
and that's visits. That's not does that include the performers and everyone? Okay. Right.
Yeah, I consider them visits. Yeah.
So
We think we're talking about
on
like
the
bringing
last
people
show.
into Pottstown.
yeah. So what that really
What is it?
does.
I'm sorry. I kind of missed that number. 20,000 visits per show
No,
No,
per year.
Per year.
per year.
20,000
Yeah.
visits. I mean,
So that's basically
23, I think it
almost roughly the population of Pottstown coming into Pottstown.
Right.
Think about that.
Well, some of us are
I
from
do think about
Pottstown.
it a
I'm
lot.
responsible
Yeah.
for at least 10
I
of those
read,
visits.
I read an
Yeah.
article. I read an article that the presence of theater in a community also increases the local education level. It has an impact on education, and it also reduces crime statistics.
it does. It boosts the local economy typically as well.
Sure.
Right.
Any anchor theaters are often considered sort of an anchor business of a community, and that's specifically why we chose Pottstown when we came, because we wanted to help Pottstown grow, and
Right.
we really felt like a a big marquee theater like this would help. And
Sure.
it did. It took a lot longer than we expected it to. But
Right.
that work that I did to talk about those numbers, I can't remember them all. I did that in May of 2019, but I spent a lot of time doing the actual research on how Steel River specifically has positively impacted the economy, education, crime rate, all of those things. You know,
Right.
the things you want to go up are going up, and the things you want to go down are
Right.
going
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
Yes.
And that has a lot to do with theater being in the area.
Right.
And you know, and there's a good art scene in Pottstown. It's not just our theater. There's High Street Music. There's Monco has a wonderful theater program.
Yes.
There's the Gallery on High, Art
Art
Fusion.
Fusion.
Art
Yeah.
Fusion,
I'm
yeah.
showing my age.
Now you're going back, right?
Art Fusion
I still think-
19464.
Exactly. You know, those are the big, what I think of as the marquee arts things in the
Yes.
town,
Right.
as well as a lot of other smaller satellite things.
And
but-
also, Art Bomb. Can we see that over there? I don't know if you can
Oh,
see
Art
it.
Bomb.
So Lena
It's
was
kind
telling
of in the
me
shot.
that so behind to the on your screen to the right of Matt, in between Matt and Lena, behind them there is it's a door. It's a painted door.
The artist is Harold Howard.
Yes,
And he
just
actually has a Facebook page with a lot of his art, but he
Okay.
did this and left it leaning against our door. I came.
it was
I
an
came
it
one
was
day
an
and it
it
was
was
here.
an art bomb. He just
an art
left
bomb.
it. He left it there.
And he did one for the alley.
I've seen the
He
one at
did
the alley.
one
Yeah.
For, I've seen there's several that he's done for area businesses. He
Who's
just
that?
paints
Is
these
that Julian?
cool,
Who is that?
sort of urban-looking paintings and leaves them around. They're art bombs. They're
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's really
It's
like
got Slick Rick on it.
what a nice surprise, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I love it. And it's painted on a door. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. We'll have to, once you're up and running, find some place to.
I think it would be fun to find a place that for all of the paintings that he's done in the area and put them do
a show.
Yeah, I could do like an outdoor.
in the summertime. Do one like maybe at the two beer gardens.
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. I love that. the
All
two
right,
beer
somebody
gardens.
make that happen.
What's up with Pottstown? I love this 2 beer gardens. Like
I know.
Right?
It's amazing.
Right? It's like-
Somebody's shouting out to the very best, too.
Oh, the
Don't
very
forget
best.
about
Oh,
the very
don't- and
best.
actually-
Guess who had the very best for lunch today?
That
What'd you
girl.
have? What'd you have?
I did. I got the cabbage and potato soup,
Ooh.
which was brave, but it was very good. Shockingly, like cabbage does not affect me. So everyone who watches the show knows of my digestive health history, but it was delicious. And I got a grilled cheese, and they were jamming over there. They do a nice business. So I
Lunchtime
talked to Josh
business.
briefly and said that we wanted to get in touch and do a show with him because do you know what? This year is 100 years of the very best.
Wow.
Yeah, it sure
Oh, yeah,
is.
that's right.
That's
21,
amazing.
21,
Yeah,
yes.
it's on the front of their building.
Yep,
1921.
it's right there on the front of the building.
Now, how long
Exactly.
were they closed? They were closed for a couple years.
Yeah, Matt, you can probably answer that because you
They were
had the.
closed for multiple years, and I
Right.
don't know what the timeline on that was.
I want to say
but
it was at least 2
closed.
years.
The
Yeah.
most recent one, though.
It
Yeah.
was longer than that.
Yeah, I
and
think it was
then
more
the
like
building
4 or so.
fell into disrepair.
And
Through
Josh took a
through
long time
long
to.
story short process, I was able to get the listing contract on the property, sold it to Josh, and that sale went amazingly smooth. And Josh has put a lot of money and a lot of elbow
A
grease.
lot.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
he was
obvious.
in
to
there
getting
all
it
the
where
time.
It is now, all the time,
Yeah.
for days and days and days.
Oh,
and
I
days.
remember.
Yeah.
We would go over and peer in the window all the time. We were so
Yeah.
excited.
Remember, we
whenever
would
opened.
leave like late at night after rehearsal, and he'd be over there.
Yeah, working,
Yep.
Yep,
getting it scrubbed
absolutely.
up.
Yep.
Yep.
And it was a lot of work. So we're glad that he brought that back. We're going to
Absolutely.
be traveling there. I also want to segue into some of the other places we're going to be going. We're talking to Kristen from Beverly's.
Yep.
So we're going to be traveling to see her. We're going to be going to
Can I
their-
come to that show?
Sure.
You're going to have to
why
do a
not?
double episode of
You
Light
might
on
have
Your
to
Feet.
like dance
Right.
for a cookie or something.
Oh, that's
right?
perfect.
Thanks for your pastry.
Yeah, I love it.
And so we're going to be going to her on the 14th.
Yep.
We are talking to Burke Meyer from Meyer's Automotive. We're going to be visiting with him.
Which is just, like such a cool place. Like you wouldn't expect that there's like an automotive garage right in the middle of downtown, but there it
There
is.
is a surprise in that building that I
Oh.
don't want to talk about.
Okay.
I want to leave it a surprise,
It'll
but
be
a
a
lot of
surprise
people
for me,
probably
too.
don't know that it's in there. I'll tell you
Oh.
after the show.
No, I want to be surprised. Don't tell me.
Okay. All right. And then I feel like there's somebody else that I reached out to too. And if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I'll have to go back and look at my emails. But
Okay.
we're talking to a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
If anybody is watching
Zen,
from the
were you
business-
talking to Pam?
Yes, I'm talking to Pam Doherty.
Yes.
From Blue Zen. We're going to be heading out to see her. That's probably going to be towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
I believe she picked the 21st or a date towards the end of the month. So
Have you
we're
ever
gonna
been in her place?
I've walked by and
Yeah.
I've seen pictures, but I've never been in there.
It's totally zen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's
It's on Charlotte
back
Street.
behind where the nutritional foods was.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's how you got to refer to everything in Pottstown. You know where
right
Janet
down
Garner's
the-
nutritional foods was?
used to be.
Behind
That's
there.
so true. Yep.
It's right
Exactly.
down the street from our winter home at William
William
Paul
Paul
Broglie
Broglie.
Esquire's
I saw Bill today
office
in the parking
on
lot.
South Charlotte Street. So we're going to be traveling around. If you have a business or you're part of an organization here in the borough of Pottstown or the surrounding area, you want us to come for a visit, or you want to come and join us,
Or you just want to sponsor a show and give
or
us
you
money
just want to sponsor a
for us
show,
to talk about you,
we,
we'll do that. We'll
our
never
rates
shut
are
up.
amazingly inexpensive, and I can promise you thousands of people will see your episode. Remember, if you like Porchcast Pottstown, like, share, subscribe. The more you subscribe, the more you share, the more you comment during the show,
Yep.
the more people see the message. I know that people are being distracted tonight by the national news. Gail
Maybe they-
Amber Wolf
maybe they
was a
took
little
a-
bit late.
Maybe they took a break
Hopefully they took
Yeah.
a break and watched us
to
now.
do your
but-
mental health a favor. Take a little break from time to time.
That's
Amen.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other part of it too is if you didn't take a break, the show lives on Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. You can see the past episodes there, or you can hop over to YouTube, Porchcast Pottstown on YouTube. I'm hoping to get up to 100 subscribers.
Yes. If we have anybody new tuning
subscribe.
in, subscribe over there.
The past episodes are up there. You can catch up. You can go back and watch this great episode. I'm glad that we were able to give you better sound tonight.
Yes.
I was really sweating about that.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, because I was in the booth last
that's
time.
right.
It
Yeah.
was like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to
So-
hear you because when I went back and
Yeah.
watched, I could sort of
Yeah.
hear you, but because I was in the conversation, I remembered what you said, so that
Yeah.
helped. Yeah. but-
And you're now our first repeat guest.
oh, look at that!
Yes.
Isn't that exciting?
Ooh.
This is
Yeah,
our
I have
second
to put
time
some
here. Yeah.
brain power into that. This is the second. This is
Right.
the
second time we've
second
been here.
time that we've traveled, and the second time that we were here. And it was the first time we traveled ever, I think.
It was the first time we had traveled ever.
It was the
yeah.
first time we traveled.
I mean,
with the
outside
show.
of like my house, your house,
Yeah,
Kevin's front
right. I
porch,
mean, the
like you know,
neighborhood.
the neighborhood. Yeah.
And then, so now this is
and
the
Susie
first
Kennedy's.
travel.
We were at Susie Kennedy's house too. But
That's
yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
Brooke Martin's.
Yep.
So it was the first time we ever traveled in our first season, and now it's the first time we traveled
In the third
in
season.
the third season.
We just make up our seasons. This is our third
I
season.
love it.
Mostly it's
When does
based
the
on
season
when
run?
we go on vacation.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Season 1 was like mid-March to mid-June.
June,
Right?
and then
that was
took
every
off.
day. We did that every day, Monday
Oh,
through Friday.
right.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Matt, like, how did we do that?
I don't know.
We can talk, brother.
We can.
we can
Well,
talk,
there was
yeah.
plenty of stuff to talk about.
There was, yeah.
There was plenty
So
of
much.
stuff to talk
Yeah.
about. And I would imagine that over the next coming weeks, we're going to have plenty of stuff to talk
There,
about.
yeah, we're not, no
Speaking
no
of
wallflowers
which,
here.
Do you have any news? Do you
I
have any
don't have,
local
no, I
news?
don't have any news. I
All right,
don't.
so I'm just going to do this again before
Yeah.
we sign
Yeah,
off. 'cause
remind
believe
everybody
it or
about the
not,
end
We're coming
crowd.
down to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Kidding. What time is it?
It's almost 6 o'clock.
No
Yeah.
way.
We got
It's 53, yeah.
53.
Wow.
I
The
know, right?
End crowd tomorrow, January 8th at 8 o'clock. Catch it streaming across multiple social media platforms. If you look down at the bottom right corner of your screen, you'll see the link for Twitch TV. That is one of the programs or one of the channels that End crowd is going to be on. I sometimes say N word.
The N-word.
and then create controversy.
That's not it.
And I always catch myself saying, I'm like, oh, it's the N-word down there at Steel River. People are looking at me like, what the heck?
They're doing a whole show on that?
They're
What?
doing a whole show on the N-word?
Oh, I'm sure we could.
Yeah, you probably could. I could write
Sure
a
we
book.
could.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is.
No.
It's the N crowd.
And you will laugh. I've been to probably 10 N-crowd shows.
Have
and
you? I go, yeah, you
like,
are here every
we
year.
were here, I think if it wasn't the first year, oh my gosh, who's there? It's Velva.
Yeah, I figured I'll be here
all
soon.
right, we got another walk.
Come over
by.
for a
She's
drink.
coming over
Deb
for a
Penrod
drink.
just texted us.
We'll-
She said to
we'll
come
be
over
in.
for a drink also.
I'll stop in.
Yeah, we were here one of the first years, if not the first year.
That first year was upstairs.
Oh yeah, we were definitely here upstairs. It
Yep.
was us. It was me and Levi and Chris Price.
Yep.
Yes,
And you know, I worked with Chris Price.
I know.
Yeah, during the day we worked at an IT company together.
Yes, I
Yep.
remember. I remember that. So yeah, we came with him. I think that was even before he and Beth were together. So that was an early show. If they did the first show upstairs, then we were here.
Yep, 2009.
And I think I just missed the last couple of years, or maybe just the last year. So yeah, like long time N Crowd fan, and we used to have a big party at our house, have like potluck dinner, and then we would walk down to the show with our road sodas,
Yes.
and be very lively.
Do it.
Very
and then,
nice.
And then go back home for dessert.
And now you can get your road sodas here if you like.
Yes. Well, that was before you had your cabaret
That
license.
was before we had a cabaret license.
Yes.
That's right.
I'm a big fan of teeing up my intermission drink.
Yes,
Just like
pre-order.
Broadway. Just like
Pre-order.
Broadway.
I love that too, where you can pre-order and
Yes.
then you
do
come
they
out.
still do they still do that at Broadway? I mean, you know.
Oh, on Broadway, I
Do
don't
you
know.
do that here?
Yeah,
Oh,
we do
yes.
that here. Who cares? What they do on
Yes, they do
Broadway?
that here. So you
We do it here.
pre-order and then you come out at intermission and your drink is sitting right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't mess with the lines, folks.
I don't
You can just
remember
go
that.
Right to your drink.
Yeah,
I
Allie
don't
does that. It's
drink
fantastic.
before I go to the theater because then if I have to go to the bathroom, I feel like I'm going to miss something. So
Well, there's that. Yeah.
I drink after the show.
I may have been known to have some margaritas next door at Juan Carlos, maybe before
Right? Okay.
before a show, maybe once or twice.
It makes it more interesting for the actors
Right?
when
It does. It makes for a much more lively audience, right?
You know
Yes.
what? My brain is now spinning because I'm thinking about all these different places that you can come to and grab
Yes.
something to eat and drink. So let me set up a scene for you, right?
Okay, yes.
Let me direct your activities tomorrow. I'll be the
Yes.
stage director.
Yes.
Here's what you should do.
Okay.
You should order some food from one of these fine establishments down here on High Street. You got Juan Carlos, you got Pub, you got Radigan's, you got
Blue Elephant.
you've got the very best.
You've got the places in
Argento's
the
Pizza,
you got the places in the High Street Terminal, the new burger place.
Grumpy Sandwiches.
There's I Caramba.
Come on.
Yes.
So order some food from
Yes.
one of these fine local establishments. Get it back to your house. Settle down around 7:30, 7:45. Start eating, getting yourself going. 8 o'clock, plug in to the end crowd.
Yes.
Make your donation, and 100% of the tickets go to support Steel River.
And if you're so
Playhouse.
inclined, you could pick up a growler or a crowler or whatever they're
Do that
called.
too.
Right?
Yep.
Do that
Yes.
too.
You certainly could. Absolutely.
Yes.
Go to Sly Fox and get a whole case of beer.
Yes. Speaking of Grumpy, I want to give a little quick shout out to Grumpy. It's his birthday today.
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Grumpy.
I saw that.
It
Gene
might be a
Dugan.
big number.
I think it's
60
Is a big number. So happy birthday, Grumpy. So go see him tomorrow. Wish him a happy belated birthday. Also, when you're going out tomorrow if you're out during the day, you should go to Barrister's and pick up your bagels for Saturday morning.
There's another place you can go.
delicious, ridiculously delicious.
Yeah, I love their bagels.
They're really amazing.
Yeah.
Really,
Long story
yeah.
short, patronize a local business and don't forget to tune in at 8 o'clock tomorrow, Friday, for N Crowd. Also, buy yourself a Porchcast Pottstown hat.
Yes.
$5 of every sale is
So
going to
warm.
support
It's getting chilly
the
out there.
Steel River Playhouse.
Yes.
Bumper stickers and stickers.
Magnets.
Magnets.
Yes.
$5 for a magnet,
Yeah.
$2 for a
Yeah.
sticker.
You know how to hit us up. We'll get it to you.
Hit us up.
All right.
We're bringing
This
you
has
the
been super
merch.
fun. I hope that we've talked about some things that maybe make people think about theater in a different way than is just sitting down to see a show, and how so many of the shows that I've seen here have made me really think. And there was at least 2 shows that I mentioned when we were chatting before that really affected me. Like really affected me.
Emotional
I had really,
response.
really, yes, really stuck
That makes
with
my
me.
little heart go pitter pat.
Yeah, really. Well, I'll say it again. My favorite of all time was Toys in the Attic. That really affected me, and I was one of the 10 people that saw it. And
Yeah, it's really sad nobody saw that.
that was early.
I think it was a good show.
that was really
I mean, I was
early.
in it. It's hard to tell.
No, it
but
was amazing. I'm talking about it still now, 10 years later, or however many years it's been.
It was 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really great. So, and that's what theater does. It's not just good for conversation starting, and then there's fun shows like The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and things that are fun that you can take your kids to. But there's all of the things that you gain when you're involved in theater. And maybe Harrison's 2 years of summer camp here instilled in him, even if he didn't know it at the time, when he went up to Hill and was involved in theater tech there. So that maybe was, the start of that seed. So theater is important for so many reasons other than just entertaining people, and it's important and it's vital to Pottstown and the rebuilding of Pottstown.
It's what connects us.
Yes.
Storytelling is fundamental. They did it around the fires.
Of course,
when
yes.
there was hardly language yet.
Right, and that's
Right.
how the history got
and
passed
every
down.
culture has storytelling,
Yes.
and it is what connects us as human beings.
Right.
There's no question in my mind. I talk about storytelling a lot,
Right.
and that's what that's about.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
everybody's got a story, and everybody wants to see themselves in a story.
Right.
They
Yep.
want to see themselves reflected on the
That's right.
screen or the stage or
Right.
the page.
Or they want to tell their story, or
Right.
all of those things. Yeah,
Right.
for
Yep.
sure.
And if you're lucky enough to live in a place like Pottstown, you get to walk to an
You
amazing
can walk.
theater.
It's right here in your
Yes.
backyard.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Add it into your list of things to do and list of things to support.
Yes,
Yep.
definitely. When I think it was Brooke Martin that posted what's your favorite nonprofit in town, and I said, well, Steel River's always going to be at the top of my list. So,
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
yep.
There you go.
Yes.
Certainly mine.
Thank you.
Yep.
Fine, thank you.
We've
It's a very
been
warm
live
hat, so I
streaming
can't even keep
here
it on for
at
5
Steel
minutes.
River Playhouse, 245 East High Street in the lovely borough of Pottstown.
In the
This is-
former Newberry store building.
there
That's
you
true.
go. There's your history lesson for the day.
Yep.
YouTube on Porchcast Pottstown. Facebook at Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. Tomorrow at 8, I'm going to keep saying it because somebody didn't hear me. 8 o'clock tomorrow, Friday, N Crowd. Tune in on multiple social media platforms.
Yeah, what
Check
else
out
are you
that
doing?
show.
Right?
What else are you
Yeah,
doing? Yeah.
do it.
All right, break
Lena
it down.
Devlin, thank you for
Thank you. It was
coming.
great having you
Thanks
here.
for having us.
I like these
It's
microphones.
really fun.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a much better
Yes.
experience for
Yep.
everybody.
Yeah, that's great.
Amanda Morell, thanks for
Yes.
coming down.
Thank
Check
you.
out Miranda. Miranda. thanks. Check out Amanda Morell with her new program called
Light on your
on
feet.
Your feet.
It's a new season. of
Yes.
it. It's
Oh,
the,
just-
it's the season 2.
Yes.
It's
Season
a
two.
season
Season 2.
Season
was-
2 premiering.
It was
soon.
renewed by popular demand.
Yes.
Renewed for the
YouTube.
second
Popular
season.
demand. Yep.
Steel River Playhouse
Yes.
on YouTube.
Yes.
Check her out. Tune
Yes.
in. Get healthy. Get fit.
She's
Get
adorable.
yourself moving.
So upbeat.
I might have to. I got to do something.
Okay,
It's
that would
getting
be a great
And you
ridiculous.
get
episode.
yourself
That
moving
would
to
be a great
Broadway
episode,
too,
Matt.
So
Yeah.
what's better than that?
Yeah.
And she'll
My-
take requests.
I do. I take requests. Send them to me.
So I can put in my own playlist.
As long as it's Broadway.
As
Well,
long as
just
it's
send me
Broadway.
what
I don't know.
songs you want.
I know like one song.
Right. What?
What one song?
One singular
Maybe.
sensation?
Yeah, probably. Like Do Re Mi or something. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't.
that's exciting. Go,
not a good-
dear,
Up
a
a deep, a deep,
female deer.
That would be like maybe a warm up or a cool
Yeah,
down.
it's true.
Yeah.
There you go.
Find out about
better
all
than
this
climb
fun
every
on
mountain.
Light on Your Feet. That's what I've been hitting at, folks. Find out what's going on Light on Your Feet. Amy Wolf is my lovely co-host. She's also the office manager at Wolf Baldwin and Associates, bringing you fine legal service in the borough of Pottstown since 1973. Check out their new office in Pennsburg.
Yeah, serving the Upper Perk Valley.
Oh, I didn't know you got a new
Nice.
office. in
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
yes.
That's exciting.
Oh, yes. I've just been sitting around doing nothing the last 2 months. Yeah,
Wolf
November.
Baldwin and Associates. I am Matt Green at Glocker Real Estate. I am your local real estate expert. Please call me when you need assistance buying or selling residential and commercial real estate. We are the cast at Pottstown. Yeah, the cast at Pottstown.
We-
The
we
cast
are.
at Pottstown. We are the cast.
We're Porchcast.
Porchcast.
I'm getting my two shows mixed up.
He's very confused.
It sounds like
because
you're
he's
ready for
like-
the stage.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
am.
think you are.
But I'm concentrating too hard.
Yeah.
I gotta let
Just
it flow.
let it flow.
I do
Improv.
I do have another show called The Cast at Glocker.
Yes.
That's Wednesdays at 6.
Yes.
But this
It's
is
our
my
first
show,
spin-off.
Porchcast Pottstown. Porchcast Pottstown.
Pottstown.
We
Let-
are Porchcast
Porchcast.
Pottstown.
Let's talk soon.
Let's talk soon.